You always think flying over in the plane, how would I respond under combat? We can all talk about it. We can all talk real brave talk about how we're going to perform. But in the back of your mind, you're always wondering, when it actually happens, how are you going to respond?
Girls at that time, if they're 18, were considered an adult. Guys were not considered an adult until 21, but yet we could go to war.
I could see the entry wound, but I didn't see the exit wound. The exit wound was, needless to say, larger. It had affected his pulmonary artery. I laid down next to him, yelling at him, trying to have him keep his consciousness so that the medevac can come get him. It didn't work, and it was interesting to lay there next to him and watch him go from life to death, to see him transferred to the other side, which then set my temperament for the rest of the time I was in Vietnam as walking dead.
We heard the first explosion. And of course, immediately we reacted to the location. Getting that location, that was my first casualty that I observed. The young Marine that was lying there, probably about my age, 19, had both his legs blown off. He was lying there with his legs draped across his body like arms. I looked at him, and the thing that stuck in my mind was the smell of his legs burnt. High explosives do that when they go off. They generate so much heat, they also burn. I'll never forget that smell.
And at times, because what you see in the newspapers or hear in the news is contrary to what you see on your own, and that for one person to try to prove it is kind of hard. The only way that you could prove it is be there and see it for yourself, done it. And to try to tell someone who is not there, who never seen the horrors of war and the hardship that troops have to go through, I don't see them understanding that at all because they haven't been through it.
I kind of feel we live in a generation right now of entitlement. People feel they deserve things. I'm not really sure if they understand or appreciate the meaning of working for things. And work could mean becoming a soldier and fighting for your country. Sometimes the ultimate sacrifice has to be made for that. I think it's not a question of right or wrong, it's a question of if we have this privilege of freedom, at times it's not going to be free, there's always going to be a cost somewhere. And sometimes that cost comes due and we have to ante up. And I always told my wife, sometimes I look at Americans and I wonder if they really deserve this country.